Welcome to the Quality Meat Scotland podcast. Industry updates and best practice to promote, support, develop and protect the Scottish red meat sector.
Hello and welcome to this special episode from the QMS stand at the Royal Highland Show. My name is Beth Alexander, cattle and sheep specialist for Quality Meat Scotland. We're delighted to be back at the show after 3 long years. And today I'm joined by farmers, butchers and individuals from across the red meat supply chain, all out enjoying the 200th anniversary of the Royal Highland Show. With me first today is Bruce McConaughey, Head of Industry Development at QMS. So Bruce, I believe you are a Highland Show veteran. How good is it to be back?
It's brilliant to be back. It's great to be back and see everyone you know and all the trade stands, the exhibitors and the best of the industry. And as someone who hasn't missed a Highland Show since 1987, it's good to maintain my unblemished record. And
what's been your highlight so far?
I think the highlight is just the conversations. The sun's out, everyone seems to be in a good mood and everyone's delighted to have it back. And the conversations are great. You can't walk more than 10 yards without meeting someone you know.
And you can never get anywhere in a rush.
Absolutely.
Is there something you've missed the most?
I certainly haven't missed paying high prices for food, but I've missed the social elements, and I've missed being able to see the best of the industry in one place and the best of livestock as well. So I'll find time to get around the sheep lines and the cattle lines later on and just enjoy that again.
There's been a lot of cooking and butchery demos on the QMS stand. Have you managed to try any of the samples?
I've been having a good go at it. I try and get as many samples as I can, obviously to make sure that I'm well informed as to the benefits of Scotch beef, lamb and pork.
What's been your favourite so far?
I think there's been a beef curry that came out a couple of days ago, and that's definitely been the highlight.
Are you much of a cook yourself?
Absolutely not. I'm very good at ordering food, eating food and loading dishwashers, but the middle part confuses me.
If you could have any beef, lamb or pork dish, what would it be? And you don't have to cook it.
If I don't have to cook it, that's fine, because if I did have to cook it, it would be a bacon roll is probably my limit, but probably something Italian with a bit of Scotch beef in it is usually a good combination.
Like to bring in the overseas, their cuisine from over there.
Yeah, absolutely. The Italians know what they're doing.
Yeah, they certainly do. Well, thanks very much, Bruce. Enjoy the rest of the show. Will do. So joining me next is Tim Bailey from SAOS. So Tim, you've been to the Highland Show a few times before. How good is it to be back?
Having spent it's been my 25 years of coming to the Highland Show. It's a wonderful opportunity to come back after a 2-year absence and see a lot of friends and work associates who I've either not seen for 2 years or I've actually seen on the laptop screens, and to see them back in the flesh is absolutely wonderful.
How many people have you thought, I thought they'd be taller in real life?
Well, there's been 4 or 5 different people actually that you sort of realise that I'm fairly tall myself, and you're suddenly realising that they're even taller. And I know it's nice meeting some other people that I've met online. And had a chance to actually meet them in person too. So
yeah, it's just great. Has there been a highlight of the show so far for you?
I think from my point of view, it was. I'm not just saying this because I'm on this podcast. It was actually an opportunity to come back to the QMS breakfast yesterday and getting a unique double header, I guess, between a scientist talking around the rebalancing the debate, changing the narrative again around the positivities of red meat and the vital role of our beef, sheep, pork industries, but also then combining that with the First Minister emphasising, I would say very clearly, around the key role of farmers as producers of food.
It's just great, and to make that link between the two is so important, isn't it?
I think it is, and it might sound an obvious thing, but it's the torrid, the very sad, dire situation in kind of Ukraine has brought that to the fore. That farming is about the guardian of the environment, but it's also around the production of food, and what wonderful food as well.
Exactly, yeah. There's been a lot of cooking and butchery demonstrations on the stand. Have you managed to try any samples yet?
I haven't yet, but I was coming to do some, and then I got invited to take part in a podcast.
Well, there's some steak noodle salad going out there just now, and it looks delicious.
Well, that sounds pretty good. That'll be a good top
Are
up
you
for
much
my
of
lunch.
Are you much of a cook yourself?
I do enjoy cooking. Actually, I don't get as much time to cook as I would like, but I whether it's a good old roast dinner, or certainly a good rib of roast beef.
So you're a beef man. Beef, lamb and pork was going to be my
no, it doesn't take much persuasion, to be honest, in our household, really. We don't have turkey at Christmas. We have a kind of 5 rib roast.
Well, we've got to the point where we have to have both.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, there's enough of us, it can go around. So. Well, thanks very much for joining me, Tim. I'll let you get back to enjoy the fantastic show that we're having so far.
Okay, thanks, Beth.
We've now got Jennifer Robertson from the Health and Education team at QMS. Jennifer is a Health and Education Manager, and how great is it to be back on the stand at QMS?
Well, it's been really good to be back, Beth. I think I'm always surprised to see the same people every year, but I think I've seen so many new faces this year, which has been great. There's been a few old ones, but definitely I think a lot of people are trying out the show for the first time, which is brilliant, and especially after not having it for a couple of years. It's good to see things a bit different as well, and especially here in our QMS stand.
That's good. There's been a lot of work going on in the Health and Education team in the last 3 years. What have you been showcasing on the stand?
Yeah, so it's been a great opportunity to be able to showcase our farming footsteps website and resource, as well as a lot of the games that are involved in that. So this year on the stand we've had a bit more interactivity. So we've been able to show young people and adults alike our new games, which highlight the red meat journey from farm to fork. So I think the 2 most popular games have been our Find the Facts, which is a general kind of knowledge of food and farming, and then our Know the Cuts game. So lots of young avid butchers out there, I think, who've learned all their cuts of meat, which is good to see as well. So yeah, they've been really popular, and really just highlighting also our farming circle of life, which the stand pictures are all about. So really the process that's involved in our meat production in Scotland, and how much effort and work goes into that, as well as the sustainability credentials too. So it's been a great opportunity to again talk about something a bit different than we've done in the past. So it's been really good, and we've had excellent feedback as well.
Yeah, well, I've had a shot at some of the games myself, and I tell you, they're not that easy.
No, yeah, made it tough.
So it's been great for farmers and kids alike, just to really learn about what we're trying to
absolutely
achieve.
People who know and others who don't. So it's been good, and we've had families who I think have tried out every single game, and just sat there for a while doing it, which was really nice to see, and just seeing people enjoy themselves. And I think we've had a little bit of a slightly slower pace this year, which I think is nice. Again, just people taking the opportunity to stop and chat, and to be able to enjoy what's going on in the show, and to learn a little bit about what we're talking about as well.
And it's the Year of Beef for Royal Highland Education Trust. So what's been going over the centre? Yeah,
that's right. So this is really the end of the culmination of the Year of Beef activities for RET. And the team up there have been working really, really hard at putting together the Discovery Centre this year with all the activities, mostly focusing on the Year of Beef. But we've also been highlighting some of our activities up there as well. We get a lot of the younger kids up there. So we've been doing lots of little games with them and a lot of colouring in, which they love. But it's great to see that. And RET have also had their own weighing scales and a calf auction, a pretend one, but the kids have loved being involved in that as well, and getting their picture taken on a quad bike. So yeah, there's always fun things to do at the Discovery Centre, and it's been really nice to see as well.
It's just fantastic to get them back again. What's your highlight of the show been?
I don't know. I think, to be honest, I think it's just being back and seeing people and meeting people that we've not maybe seen for a wee while. I've not even had a lot of opportunity to look around yet, so I'm hoping to get a bit of a chance later on to see what's going on and maybe purchase a few things. We'll see.
A few samples.
Oh, yeah.
There's been lots of butchery and cookery demonstrations going on the QMS stand. Have you managed to try any of the samples?
Well, the smells alone make you kind of your appetite wait completely. I've had a couple. So there were some lovely pork tikka skewers today, and I had actually one. Turned out she was a teacher I was chatting to, and she loved that, and she was asking for the recipe. So it's great that we've been able to do that. Have the samples, and here's the recipe. Take it home. And I think that's been the highlight again of the show, that the recipes are simple, easy to follow, but delicious at the same time.
It's been mouth-watering anyway, watching them all come out. And
definitely.
Are you much of a chef at home?
a good home cook, definitely not a chef, but I've worked for QMS for quite a long time now, and I would certainly say I've learned a lot from all the chefs and the activities that we do out in schools as well when we get to accompany chefs and things like that. So I think I've got a little bit better over the years.
What would be your dream meal?
I don't know, but so always get asked that sort of question, what's your favourite meats and things, and we've been talking to people today about lamb. We produce such good Scotch lamb in Scotland, but it's funnily enough not the thing people always choose. So I would probably say it has to be a lamb, and to be honest, I like a good lamb curry. Something like a biryani is pretty much my favourite. I like it better when someone else makes it, but I do enjoy biryani when I can.
Fantastic, just for soaking up all that flavour.
Definitely.
Yeah, I wouldn't be far off agreeing with you there. Well, thanks very much for coming along to having a chat, Jen. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks a lot.
So joining me now, we've got Robert Gilchrist, Chief Executive of the Aberdeen Angus Society. Robert, how glad are you and your members all to be back at the show?
Everyone's delighted to be back. It's been great to just be out there and seeing folks, seeing members, seeing potential customers. That's what these things are all about. It's a shop window, and it's been really good.
And what has there been a highlight so far for you?
We've taken a couple of rosettes, so that's been good in the interbreed in threes, so that was good. And just meeting folk again, just getting back out there, seeing folk, talking to folk.
It's that the human interaction that everyone's been missing for the last. Yeah,
that's it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've got Zoom fatigue and Teams fatigue, and actually being face to face with a person and being able to speak to them, and I find that you can get so much more out of a conversation actually face to face than. So it's been really good to just get in front of folk and speak to them again. And
definitely, absolutely. And you can hardly walk 5 metres without meeting the next person. But
I've got the kids here today and they absolutely hate it, but I don't mind.
No, it's fantastic just to be back, and we've had a heap of cookery and butchery demonstrations on the stand. Have you managed a sample yet?
I've not managed a sample yet. But we'll grab one before we go here. But
definitely,
it's great to interact with. That's the other part, and that's what this event's about as well. It's not just about meeting farmers; it's about meeting your consumer as well. Because without them, we haven't got an enterprise. So
it's such a fantastic opportunity to showcase what we have to offer, and there's been some brilliant recipes coming out here anyway. But
we had some Kazakhs. We've got a potential export opportunity to Kazakhstan, and we've had some Kazakhs in on Thursday in the show, and that was a really enjoyable piece of the day, because letting these guys see what we have to offer here, and they were always going to be coming to Scotland at some point to look at the cattle, and we said let's get them in for the Highland Show, and then they can go and look at some cattle after, because it's a showpiece event. It's a real centrepiece for everything. So they've come in, they've gone away from the Highland Show blown away, and now they're off to be blown away by some cattle instead. So it's been, that's been good.
I think it's fantastic for people that have never been to the event before, because, I've been every year for, I think, as I've been alive. carted about, and when I was a wee kid, and you almost take for granted what they're at. The scale of the place it's just great.
Yeah, and that's the thing, it's a good job it's on over 4 days, because that 5 metre in stop means it takes you about 4 days to get around the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I think there's only one answer for this question, Robert. Beef, lamb or pork?
Aberdeen Angus ribeye.
Are you much of a foodie?
I really, you don't get a waistline like mine by not being a foodie. I'm a real foodie. I love my food, and I'll go out my way to find good stuff. And
what's your perfect meal?
Perfect meal, it's look, it's really cliched, but it is just a ribeye steak, done rare, nice portion of fries, sort of wedges on the side.
That sounds
what's better?
Perfect to me anyway.
Well marbled, don't forget well marbled as well,
Yeah. Thank you, Robert, and I'll let you go and maybe get that ribeye steak.
Thanks, Beth.
Cheers. So joining me now is Rob Duncan, from a brand specialist from QMS. Rob, it's your first time at the show with QMS. How's it been?
It's been great, thank you, Beth. It's my first time working the show since I joined QMS, obviously just over a year ago. It's been really interesting to see it from the trade point of view. I work mostly on the consumer brand Make It Scotch, but there's been lots of interesting conversations and positive conversations being had about the industry in general and where it can go. Obviously we're in a bit of a difficult period now, but it's been interesting to hear what's coming.
What's your highlight of the show been so far?
My highlight of the show so far, speaking with my belly, would be the food hall, but that's not what people want to hear. No, it's been good. I think all the cooking demos have been really good. When you see lots of bums on seats and people participating from the crowd and getting involved and speaking really passionately about the products that the chefs are cooking with, I think it's been really nice to see.
Yeah, we had Just Jess in earlier, and it was a packed house to see her demonstration. That was great to see.
Yeah, it was. She brought a bit of a crowd. I think it's good because it's really relevant. Particularly for me and my job, we're working with the social media brands and the social media audiences who are a bit more of there's a bit of a younger target audience just now for QMS, and Jess obviously brings that in, so it was good to see that we had to put out extra chairs. That's always a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely a follower, and she's influenced me, so some of her recipes are great.
Good to know.
And there's been loads of butchery demonstrations and cookery, and we've also had the QMS sampling, which we have every year. Have you tried any of the samples yet?
I have. I've tried every single sample multiple times. I'm a sucker for a good bit of food, so yeah, it's been delicious. I think the chefs are obviously very, very talented. They've cooked some good stuff, and everything seems to have went down really well. Anyone you speak to has been very complimentary, and I can vouch for that too. What's
your meat of choice, beef, lamb or pork?
I'm a lamb man. In my household, I'm the only one that likes lamb, so I don't get to have it very often. So when I do have it, I make sure I enjoy it and obviously make sure it's Scotch.
Absolutely, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Oh well, thanks very much, Rob, and enjoy the rest of the show.
No worries, thank you, Beth.
So today we have on the QMS stand Jay Strawhorn, National Vice Chair of the Scottish Association of Young Farmers. Great to have you along today, Jane.
Thank you so much for having me.
The Highland Show is a huge event for young farmers, so how delighted are you and all SAYFC members to be back?
It's absolutely brilliant to be back. I don't think we realised quite how much we missed it until we were back here, most of us on the Wednesday night for the show starting on Thursday, and just seeing everyone again, being back together in one place and just having a really, really good time together.
You've got an absolutely jam-packed calendar, so what competitions and events are going on for young farmers at the show?
Honestly, I don't know how we fit it all in over 4 days, but it is absolutely crazy. To name just a couple, obviously we've had Country Cooks going, we've had semi-finals, qualifiers for that, and the finals happening today. Photography, handicrafts, tug of war being one of the big ones. We run the Stocksmanship programme, which is a highlight for everyone, Highland Show week, so I don't know how we fit it all in. It's so busy, but it's so good, and it just keeps everything going. There's something on absolutely every day, and it's just been a blast having it all back. So it's really good.
It was the first ever joint Stockman of the Year.
Yes, it was amazing. I think everyone. I didn't know the results before I went up on stage to do my vote of thanks yesterday, and even I was like, when our national chair Lucy was reading out the results, I think everyone just couldn't believe it. It was amazing. I know how hard all these boys work. David and Andrew have been doing stock judging for years now at this level, and to see them both, especially from the same district in Lanarkshire, to come away with the most prestigious trophy probably in the stock judging calendar was massive. It was so exciting, and the atmosphere it builds up and just the joy on everyone's faces really is just amazing to see. Really, really good.
Saw some of the pictures and they just looked absolutely
really
elated,
good. So just thrilled.
So
thrilled
for them.
Yeah.
And well, what's been your highlight of the show so far?
I think, my highlight always kind of stays the same for Highland, is seeing people from, I've got friends in Shetland that I don't get to see, obviously for obvious reasons, getting to see every one of them, just having a chat with people you don't, because you see all your friends all the time, and then you get to somewhere like this and there's people from all across the country, even people from exchanges I've been on before from Ireland and different places, meeting them, seeing them, how they've been, especially not having that opportunity the past 2 years. It's been absolutely amazing, just being a young farmer, socialising, seeing your friends, and just having a blather, having a chat and having a blather. It's really good.
Well,
really, really good.
Really must have been a long 3 years without this show as well. It's 3 years ago since the last one, isn't it?
Yes,
so
yes.
What's the thing you've missed the most?
I think what Highland Show is really good for is the spirit of competition, healthy competition, everyone wanting to fight for the biggest prizes, and for a lot of them in the Young Farmers calendar, Highland Show is such a focal point of the year for us. There's so many big events running for us, like I said, Stocksmanship, but even the boys and girls doing handicrafts. It's for them to win at the Highland Show, to win handicrafts is such an achievement, even craftsmanship, and it's such a lot of these competitions are for teams as well, which I like. It's a good team spirit, brings people closer together in a really healthy, competitive way, which I think is really, really good.
Well, I don't know if you can hear it on the podcast, but there's lots of cheering going on in the background for the country coach, which is just so fantastic to see. And we've had so many butchery, cookery demonstrations going on in the QMS stand, and we've always got our samples. So have you managed to get any?
We love a sample.
Managed to taste any yet?
I've actually not. I did come round to see what they were cooking on. I don't know what day it was. It was the West versus East semi-final, and there was steak. I think they were cooking steak, and I was like, why am I not here doing this? This looks absolutely delicious. This is what I want to be eating instead of some of the food at Young Farmers Centre. They're having steak round here, so I should have come round earlier and had tried some more when I had the chance.
And have you ever taken part in the country coach competition yourself?
I have. I've only ever won Ayrshire District, but I have never done very well at higher up, so West for me, and then I've never got to national, which is a big shame because I think I'm quite a good cook. Although I think I can be quite bossy because it's a team of two. So I think the only person that will do it with me is my cousin. So because I think I can be a wee bit bossy in the kitchen. So that's maybe where my downfall has been.
Well, I think I got as far as you. I won my district, and then. And what would your box of ingredients be of choice if you could choose anything?
Well, I've got quite a sweet tooth. So I'm a dessert kind of girl. So as long as there's something to make a nice dessert, but anything on top of that. I mean, I said it before, that steak looked delicious, although I think one of the teams just did a steak and chips, but to me, I think that's probably one of the best dinners you can have, so I think someone else has made tacos with it, so as long as there's something for a good dessert, like a pear, I think we've seen pears before, white chocolate, and then a good bit of Scottish steak, and I think you're on to a winner with that. I really do think you're on to a winner.
Yeah, we've had Scotch beef, Scotch lamb and specially selected pork on the stand for the last few days. What would be your choice, beef, pork or lamb?
Pork every day of the week. I would take pork, which is, I think, a lot of surprise people. When at home, my mum used to keep pigs, so we used to have pork all the time, and it is, I think, you cannot beat a bacon roll. So, and that's what it all comes down to. You can't beat a bacon roll. So, pork for me every day of the week.
It's the simple things in life, isn't it?
A cup of tea and a bacon roll.
Well, thanks very much, Shane. I know you've still got your busy schedule to finish, so thank you for joining us and have a great the rest of the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Quality Meat Scotland podcast. For news and to listen back to previous episodes of the podcast, visit qmscotland.co.uk. For Scotch beef, Scotch lamb and specially selected pork recipe videos and inspiration, visit www.scotchkitchen.com or follow Scotch Kitchen on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter.